It's Ray Durham, Frank Thomas, Max Ordonez and the Chicago White Sox as they host Cal Ripken Jr., Albert Bell, and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Comiskey Park. With Darren Jackson, I'm Ken Harrelson. We get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set against Baltimore and this homestand. Sox on the homestand stand at 7-3. They've won 7 out of their last 8 ball games, and they're trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Orioles. Last night, it was just a fine victory. Some big hitting by big Frank Thomas, a grand slam home run. But this afternoon, Jim Parquet out on that hill.
Well, Jim, his last 2 outings has been outstanding. I've got to admit that. He did get that big brouhaha started last time out there against Detroit, but you know what? He's pitching inside, and that's something he's got to do to be successful. So hopefully he'll do it again today.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. Finale of this 4-game set, and we'll be back with the rest of the starting lineups right after this. Welcome back to Comiskey Park on a beautiful afternoon here in the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois, for the finale of this 4-game set. And this homestand, Sox taking the field. They already have exchanged lineup cards at home plate. And right now, let's check out the first one for you. This one handed in by Mike Grover of the Baltimore Orioles. Leading off in center field, it'll be Brady Anderson. The lineup of the Shields at second. B.J. Surhoff will be in left. Cleanup hitter, the DH, Albert Bell. Jeff Conine in right. Cal Ripken at third. Will Clark hitting 7th at first base. Charles Johnson, the catcher. And batting 9th at shortstop, Mike Bordick. Jim Parquet making his 5th start of the season, coming in with a 2-1 record, 5.32 ERA. 22 innings, has 7 walks and 9 strikeouts. Jimmy beat Detroit his last start. He also has beaten Tampa Bay, and he lost in a very fine ball game to the Anaheim Angels by a score of 3-1. In his last outing, he went 7 innings, giving up just 1 earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, and had 4 strikeouts. And let's check out the guys who are going to try to be helping him out with that leather. In the outfield, Lee in left, Singleton in center, Ordonez in right. Around the horn from third, Norton, Valentín, Durham. And do they switch? We have Big Frank at first base. Well, I understand it is a last-minute change, so Konerko at first, and the battery of Mark Johnson and Jim Parquet. Look at this. This is just glorious. 66 degrees, 57% humidity, winds out of the northeast at 10, and the forecast sunny and mild. Checking out the men in blue, Phil Cuzzy behind the plate, Terry Kraft at first, Paul Schreiber at second, and Big Tim McClellan over at third. As we mentioned, in the first 3 games of this series, we have had 3 excellent umpired ball games. So Parquet, 18-21 in his career. And against Baltimore lifetime, he is 2-0 with a fine 3.75 ERA. So Jimmy has concluded his warm-up tosses. And we are just about set for White Sox baseball. Brady Anderson will lead it off. Brady comes in hitting at .239, a couple of homers. He's driven an 8. He's 3 for 12 in the series. And he's knocked in a pair. Here at Comiskey Park, 347 down the lines, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center field. Norton in on the grass at third, outfield straight up. First pitch, can't get it.
Well, I'm glad. Here's a guy that has 36 career leadoff home runs. Second to only Rickey Henderson, who has 75.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Pitch inside, so he didn't want to do that. Hit the leadoff man.
Brady Anderson is not somebody that's afraid to get by a pitch. He's been hit an awful lot in his career.
And he has played hurt.
He does do
a lot
that
in his career. What did he play with that broken rib that 1 year?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy that's been red hot. Delino DeShields hitting at .329, a couple of homers. He's driven in 13. He's had an outstanding series as that ball hit hard into the gap in right center field. Nobody's going to get that one. 1 hops the fence. Anderson being waved around. He will score. And is quickly 1-0 Baltimore. That's the reason he didn't want to hit the leadoff man. That's the 8th run driven in by Delino DeShields. As we talked about last night, he's in one of those grooves at the plate with his concentration, his focus. Hitting right now is relatively easy for him.
He's not wasting any time. First pitch, anything that he can put a good swing on, he's going after it.
Here's the 35-year-old veteran, B.J. Surhoff, hitting at .333, a couple of homers. He's driven in 11. 2 for 11 in this series with a homer, as that curveball low and away. And all of us here at Fox Sports Net would like to welcome our affiliate, Western Cable, and all our viewers in Plainfield, Illinois. Plainfield, yes. I got my money in Plainfield. That'll get the job done. Durham on a 2-hopper over to Canerco. So 1 out. Delino DeShields at third. Right side comes in as Albert Bell will be the hitter. Albert at .257, a couple of homers, 13 knocked in. 1 for 13 in this series. Outfield, straight away for Bell. Nice block by Mark Johnson. Sox took the opener by a score of 8-2. Cal Eldred, an outstanding effort. 2-hitter. Striking out 11, complete game. Josh Paul, his first major league homer. Orioles came right back to win game 2, 12-6. Sox helped them out with 12 base on balls. And last night, 11-6, the Sox won it. As the count moves to 2-0. The Sox have scored 31 runs in the first 3 ball games.
As you know, averaging 7.6 a game, and that average keeps going up. They're not having a problem scoring runs.
2-0. 3-0. Jeff Conine on deck. Imagine Albert's got the green light.
Especially with a man standing at third base and 1 out. Albert's pretty good at driving the ball somewhere in the outfield.
Right at Durham, he's coming home. Here's the throw, and they put it on him. Ball was hit hard right to Durham. Got a nice kick right there, DJ. Hit the mound.
Did him a big favor. He didn't have to stay low. Caught that ball head high. Got rid of it quickly to Mark Johnson at home plate. Gave him a good throw. Out by about 4 steps. And Delino DeShields actually got a pretty good jump as soon as that ball was hit. Hit well too hard.
So here's Conine. 0 for 10 in the series. Hitting at .279, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5 as they got Albert picked off. And Canerco put it on him. So Parquet gets out of it relatively unscathed, but he does give up 1. And after a half inning of play, it's the Orioles 1 and good guys coming to bat. 1-0 bad guys here in the bottom of the first inning, and let's check out the starting lineup handed in by the skipper Jerry Manuel. Leading off at second base, Ray Durham. Jose Valentín at shortstop. The DH, Big Frank Thomas. Cleanup hitter, Mags Ordonez in right. Canerco at first, Singleton in center. Carlos Lee in left. Greg Norton at third, the hot corner, and batting ninth, the catcher Mark Johnson. On the mound, 29-year-old right-hander Jose Mercedes, 2-0, 4.86 ERA, making his 4th start. He beat Detroit and he beat Oakland. Checking out his defense in the outfield, Surhoff in left, Anderson in center, Conine in right. Around the horn, Ripken, Bordig, DeShields, Clark, and the battery of Johnson and Mercedes. First pitch to Ray Durham, taking fastball strike. What's Mercedes going to feature out there?
Well, we just saw a moving fastball from him. That's one of his featured pitches, but he's got an outstanding changeup. Right there we see it. He's got a good curveball. It's more like a slurve. But the thing about Jose is he mixes his pitches up a lot. And he's an off-speed pitcher, I'm going to have to say.
There's a shot. Durham turning it on. Surhoff gets to it. Here's the throw. Safe. Leadoff double by Ray Durham. Fourth two-bagger of the season for Ray Ray.
Ray did an outstanding job going with the pitch. It was a running fastball away. Jose Mercedes can make that fastball go either direction, and Ray didn't try to do too much.
So here's Valentín. Jose 1 for 9 in the series with a homer, being that one hit, and he's knocked in a pair. There's a bunt. That's a good one. Ripken broke the wrong way, and he's got to stick it in his pocket. A bunt single by Valentín. Beautiful bunt.
I'd say, I mean, you can't roll it out there any better. He deadened it right off the end of the bat. Just gave his arms a little bit with it. Cal's going to have to put it in his pocket.
Well, Cal broke the wrong way. He took a step to his left and then had to come back in. He was going to have to do everything perfect on that good bunt by Valentín to make a play. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As nobody out, runners at the corners, and here's Big Frank. Frank hitting at 385, 5 homers, 20 knocked in. 2 for 9 in this series with a homer. That was a grand slam last night, and he's knocked in 6. Had 5 of them last evening. Takes that pitch down low. Sox hitting at 311 as a club. It's tops in the American League. Orioles hitting at 291. Baltimore with a 5.31 ERA. The Sox with a 4.96 team ERA. That's right on the outside corner.
Jose Mercedes is one of those pitchers that's been giving us trouble this year, along the lines of a Gil Heredia.
Bottenfield.
Yes, but along the lines right now, first two batters seem to have made adjustments. We've seen enough of the pitchers where you'd think these guys can kind of compare. In their minds, go back to what Heredia did to him, Bottenfield, Loaiza, those type of pitchers. So right now they should say, hey, we're making an adjustment. It looks like it, the first two hitters.
Here's the 2-1. High into center field. He just missed this one. That is a just miss. Valentín tagging it first. He is not going to go, but Durham tags, scores, and this game is tied at 1. RBI number 21 for Big Frank.
These guys have been very impressive in not leaving a guy at third base with less than 2 outs. They've been picking these guys up, and it's been a team effort all around on good base running, bunting, getting guys over, you name it. Everybody's been involved.
Here's Maggs. Ball trying to hunt him down right there. Outfield playing him to pull slightly as the count moves to 2-0. Mercedes out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. This could be Ordick, DeShields, rack them up, but the Sox come back with 1. They tie it. We'll go to the second. 1-1. Beautiful afternoon here in Chicago. Orioles with 1 in the first. Sox came right back to tie it. For Baltimore, it'll be Conine, Ripken, and Clark. Conine was at the plate when Bell got picked off. You mentioned he's 0 for 10 in this series, 2 for 3 lifetime against Parquet. Takes first pitch down low. Conine likes the ball up, out over the plate, DJ, and he can do some work.
Short, compact through the zone. Looks like a kind of a long sweeping swing, but right through the hitting zone, he just snaps the barrel through and gets good drive.
Good hands on the bat.
Good hand-eye coordination. Probably comes from that racquetball history of his. You know, he is a world-class racquetball player.
Really?
Yes, he and his wife.
Really?
Won the Junior World Racquetball Championship in 1985.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
I see.
That's some good hand-eye coordination.
That ball smoked into left center field. Chris will not be able to get it. Bounces over his head, but Conine's going to pull up at second with that leadoff double. Short, quick, through the hitting zone. DJ was talking about. That's his first 2-bagger of the season.
Right there, just looks like he's going to be long and drag the bat through, but then all of a sudden he just snaps it through the zone.
So here's Ripken hitting at .265, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. 2 for 9 in this series, and 2 for 6 lifetime against Parquet. Tries to bunt it, fouls it back. And reminder, for all the youngsters out there, the White Sox training centers are back for a 7th season in over 100 Chicago area communities. So for information about the best summer baseball camps in America, just dial 630-PLAY-BALL. Tim Repe and his staff do an outstanding, not a good, an outstanding job.
Saw Cal Ripken there trying to do turnabout as fair play. Drop down a bunt. Get the guy over and be safe at first base all in once. Just like Jose Valentín did to him.
When they say if that's Jose Martinez, we got a scoop. 1-1 pitch. Ate him up. Good pitch. Norton. Canerco. So he gets the job done as Conine moves into third with 1 out. Orioles with that 12-8 record, as we mentioned, they're 7-1 at home.
We're doing pretty good at home ourselves.
7-3. Of course, the Sox, after this ball game, will board their charter, move on over to Detroit. There's a breaking ball strike to Will Clark. What do you think is going to happen in Detroit?
I think we're going to go there and sweep them again. Just leave it at baseball.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too.
I love it when you analyze.
Yeah. It's just wishful thinking out loud.
No. I would be surprised if something didn't break out.
Well, it's a good word to use, surprised. Me, I would not be surprised. You end up in the bottom of one of those piles.
I would be surprised if something didn't break out as he hits Clark. So he hit Brady Anderson, lead off the ball game. He scored. He hits Clark, and then on first and third, 1 out.
Well, he's trying to work inside. That's what he has to do. Will's waiting a little long to try and get out of the way. A little perturbed running down the line, but it's only because it hit him right in the elbow. That's going to hurt.
Here's the catcher, Charles Johnson. Charles hitting at .271, 6 homers. 17 driven in. 2 for 5 in this series with a homer. It's a fastball upstairs. Change up. That's a tough play. Parquet guns in time. Nice play by Jimmy.
That's a very good athletic play to get off of the mound so quickly and turn and fire right on the money. I actually thought there was no chance on this play because it was as good as a bunt. Charles Johnson is not the fastest catcher in the league, so That's what gave us the opportunity.
Well, Conine scores, and it's a 2-1 Baltimore lead. And here's the hot-hitting shortstop, Mike Bordy, leading this club in RBIs. 27 he has knocked in. 6 homers, hitting at .365. Here's a strike. 4 for 9 in the first 3 games. A homer, and he's driven in 3.
A lot of production out of the 9 slot.
There's a strike. Oh, and 2. That's high and to right. Mags is there. Makes the catch. That'll retire the side, but one more crosses the plate. We'll go to the bottom of the second, trailing by 1. Paul Konerko will lead it off. Be followed by Singleton and Carlos Lee. Paul stands up at that plate as you see the numbers. 3 for 11 in the series with a homer, and he's driven in 3. We mentioned Mercedes out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Have you ever been there?
I have never been there.
Ooh, nice.
Really?
Oh,
Vacation
really
spot,
nice.
huh?
It's a beautiful place. People are just wonderful. Food's outstanding. There's a couple of great golf courses down there, done by Pete Dye.
Oh, I know it's tough courses then.
Here's the 0-1. Checks it up. Takes inside. And I've been down there 6 or 7 times. It's just magnificent.
You went down there vacation-wise or to play ball?
No.
No?
Vacation. Get the right group of people, boy, you can just have a fun time.
Okay.
2 balls and a strike to Paulie. Paulie has faced Mercedes twice. He's 0 for 2. Johnson to the outside. And that's hit Ripken with a nice diving stop. The peg draws Clark off the bag, so that'll be a base hit.
Cal, quick off his feet. Covers some good ground here. Does that whip from the knees. Usually he's very accurate with that throw. But I don't care how you look at it. It's a very difficult play to make. You're just used to him. He's so outstanding, making it look easy.
Here's Singleton. Chris at .316, 3 homers, 19 knocked in. 3 for 12 in the series with a ribby. Ripken in on the grass several steps at third. Outfield around to the left as there is a strike.
Jose Mercedes, I played with him in Milwaukee in '98. He's a guy that was really throwing the ball well and blew his elbow out. And he's come back, and he doesn't throw as hard as he used to. But he has become a pitcher. He actually went out one game against the Dodgers and had told the team that his elbow was bothering him quite a bit. But they told him, well, you're all right. He went out there and started the game. And through 7 innings of shutout ball, it was amazing. He was throwing 81 miles an hour, and everybody was expecting 91. He shut him down by surprise.
Well, they shut themselves down a little bit, too.
Well, you know how you expect 91 and you get 81, you figure something, he's going to turn it up sooner or later, but he went through 7 innings and they didn't touch him. But guess what? I think it was actually the 7th inning. All of a sudden, they just lit him up. They finally said, this guy is not going to throw hard. There's something wrong. They waited for him and lit him up. But he's learned how to pitch. Doesn't throw as hard as he used to, and he's making adjustments.
The 0-2 pitch. That'll be a souvenir left side. Limited slate of action around certainly in the American League, only one other game scheduled. That's tonight at Edison Field in Anaheim. The Devil Rays take on Mo Vaughn. Big Mo and the Angels. Hello, Mo.
Mr. Clutch RBI. Mo Vaughn.
And that game can be seen later on tonight, right here on Fox. There's a shot. That's trouble. Yes, fair ball. Conine giving chase there, waving Canerco around. Here he comes. He will score. And this game is tied at 2. Here comes Singleton. He will score. And the Sox lead it 3-2. Ball got away from Charles Johnson.
Chris is going to pull his hands in very quickly on a sinker on the inside corner and place it right inside the infield line. And you know, once Chris gets going, he's going into third base easily. Ball. Charles Johnson tries to do a good job and block this ball. Kicks up off his shoulder. Jose Mercedes was backing up, but went the wrong direction.
If you're scoring along with us, as Carlos Lee takes a strike, that'll be a triple RBI. Error on Delino DeShields. Delino came in here errorless. He's now picked up his second. That's upstairs. There's a fastball strike.
Talk about Delino coming in here errorless, and the 2 errors that he's made have been those ticky-tack errors. One that he just knocked out of his own hand, and that error there being he didn't make a terrible throw. It just kicks up high and takes Charles Johnson's right shoulder, and not terrible plays on his behalf. Terrible little things that happen.
Inside 2-2. Boy, there was a previous pitch when he fouled that slider off. That was an excellent job by Carlos, fighting a tough pitcher's pitch off.
Well, you can see how Jose Mercedes is working the whole zone, from a breaking ball down the way to a fastball up and in. He needs everything.
And right now, let's check out our Heineken's picks to click this afternoon. DiMangio, our director and crew, went with Mags. DJ's going with Chris Singleton. Charles Johnson and I are going to go with the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Fouls that one off. Three-two Sox here in the bottom of the second. That's popped up. Get out of here. And it will. That ball might come back to Clark, but the wind got it. Took it right on top of the Oriole dugout.
That's a good example of how different we get to see the wind work here. A lot of nights it just pushes it right back into play. That one pushed it right out of play. Guy shook his Coke up over there.
And once again, the 2-2 pitch to C. Lee. He gets him. So 1 out.
Jose Mercedes reaches back for a little extra here and throws a straight 92-mile-an-hour fastball right by Carlos. As I had said earlier, he used to be able to bring it up there. I guess he still has a little bit left in storage when he needs it.
Sporadically, huh?
Yes.
Here's Norton. Greg hitting it. .292, 3 homers. He's driven in 12. Takes ball 1. 4 for 8 in the series with a homer, and he's driven in a pair. Breaking ball, the curve.
That's a big, slow curveball. 71-mile-an-hour curve.
Another slow curveball. Two and two. It's full.
And Greg Norton's one of those guys more than anybody on our team that works to a full count so often. He'll get a few walks.
And there's another one for him. Last year, when he was scuffling, he was still drawing his base on balls.
He'd be hitting 230 something, but he'd get 1-2 walks a game. It was something to see.
Last 8 games, 9.8. 14 home runs. Bullpen ERA at 3.82. Here's Mark Johnson. Mark at 225, a homer he's driven in 5, just a short lead by Norton. As he turns that one over, sinks it outside the zone. First and 30, Mark. Two and 0. So home plate jumping around right here on Jose Mercedes. Jose in his career has won 13 games. He's lost 15. As we mentioned, lifetime against the Sox, 1-1 with a 4.30 ERA.
We talked about it before. This is usually the guy that gives this team trouble. This kind of pitching, there's so much movement, mixing it up. I guess they've seen enough this year. They're making the adjustments, and it's good to see it too, because it means they're going to be able to handle everybody now.
It does.
It does, because this is the only type of pitcher that's given this team trouble.
That ball had a lot of movement. So you can see the tailing action right there. Ray Durham on deck. Two and 1. Now he's in the catbird seat. Ball 4, base hit.
Base hit, ball 4.
There goes Norton. Good rip by Mark. Just underneath it.
MJ takes the kind of swing you're supposed to, 3-1. Hard. A little behind it, actually. Wasn't going to turn on it, but the pitch was away from him.
Yeah, it was tailing away. Looked like he was just trying to take that one out there in the left center field as Norton takes off once again. Pitching matchups for that Tiger series tomorrow night, and that game will be over WGN. It'll be James Baldwin against Jeff Weaver. On Saturday, Cal Elgert against Dave Malicki. That game will be over Fox. And on Sunday in the finale, here's another souvenir. Mike Soroka against Hideo Nomo. The game will also be over Fox Sports Net.
Boy, Greg Norton must be feeling pretty good. He's running out there and bouncing around, and that hammy must be well improved. He's jumping around out there.
Well, that's good to see.
We've got Greg that's showing improvement. Frank, his foot's obviously doing a lot better. Played the field last night.
Valentín.
Ozzy's been out there every day since his hamstring injury. I was a bit worried, thinking one of those guys might catch some freak accident and be out for a long time.
Well, that long rain delay we had, and he had to play. That's what concerned me a little bit.
That was a bad night. It was cold and wet and slippery.
That's ball 4. So the back-to-back walks to Norton, Johnson, and here comes Durham. They doubled and scored last inning. With a shot down into the left field corner. Surhoff really made a nice play and effort.
Talked about it last night. He is a guy that has impressed me so much out there from the positions that he used to play, from catcher to the infield. He gets to the ball so quickly in the outfield and gets rid of it. He's not trying to mess around. He just wants to hold you, keep you from taking that extra base. He works very hard out there.
Sammy Ellis out there to talk to the 29-year-old right-hander. So here's Ray. That's up high, ball one.
Jose, for the second time this inning, throwing a pitch 90 or 90 plus, doing whatever it takes right now to throw strikes.
It's 2-0.
He cannot find that strike zone.
Good.
That's just going to help the Sox quite a bit.
Well, you know, it's against any pitcher. Against any pitcher, the more pitches you can see, the better off it's going to serve for you. As there's a 3-0, but especially against a guy who's got all kinds of different angles like Mercedes. The more pitches that he throws, chances are still is it the better chance you have he's going to make a mistake out over the plate someplace.
Jose right now is hoping guys are going to chase things out of the zone, and that's exactly what we're not doing. He's getting behind in the count and still throwing pitches with a lot of movement. Wishful thinking of guys chasing him. It's just not happening for him.
Here's the 3-1. I thought that ball might have been a little high.
Me too.
I agree.
It was high when it crossed Bray.
Here's the payoff. Ground ball could be. The Shields, Gordon. No, they do not turn it. Ray getting down that line.
Ray tweaked his hamstring or his knee or ankle or something. He did something when he jumped at the bag last step. A little gimpy right now. The minute Ray hit that ball, he was thinking there's no way they're turning it on me. He was digging hard. He's going to get down the line, and he did something at the end of that. Jumps at the bag here. Looked like he was a little short of the base.
The Phantom. That breaking ball high to Valentín. Well, that happens every now and then, you know.
Well, he's a little short of the bag right there. Jammed his heel. Umpire sometimes is going to think that his toe touched the front of the base.
Yep. There's the strike. 1-1 the count. Jose with a beautiful bunt single last inning. There was no play on it. That's how good it was. That ball hit hard into right field. Conan will not get that one. Short hops the fence. Norton scores. They're going to hold Durham at third. And the Sox lead at 4-2 on the rocket off the bat of Jose Valentín.
Jose's not going to miss a hanging breaking ball. Got a one-hop bullet off the right field fence, and see how we caught a little bit of a break with Ray hustling down the line and making it look like he jumped and touched that base, getting us that extra batter up there.
So they're going to put the big man on. The third walk of the inning, issued by Jose Mercedes. That's a great stat there. A lot of stats are, for the most part, meaningless. Now that's a meaningful stat.
No, that's, I guess, as big as any stat there could be.
Yeah, because it goes back to the old saying, is Sammy Ellis on the horn down to the pin. Don't tell me what you hit, man. Tell me when you hit it.
Right now, we're going to see Maglio Ordonez coming up here. It's going to be the 9th hitter of the inning. That's the 7th time already that the Sox have batted around in the inning this season.
Charles Johnson out to talk to Mercedes. Mags hit into a 6-4-3 double play last inning.
Tell you what, I've played on some teams that have taken about half a season to bat around 7 times. And we've played 21 games, and that's a lot of at-bats for these guys.
So that'll be all for Mercedes. So, breaking the action, and we'll be back. Jose Mercedes works an inning and 2/3, gives up 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, all coming here in the bottom of the second. Had 1 strikeout, and he gives way to the 25-year-old right-hander Calvin Maduro, making his 7th appearance. No record, 6.75 ERA, 13 1/3, 13 hits, 7 walks, has 10 strikeouts. Now, Calvin's not going to overpower you, DJ.
That's not his specialty, I would say. Location and changing of speeds.
Out of Santa Cruz,
Aruba.
You're awesome. Do you have all these quest guides memorized already?
Oh, I take them home and study them a little bit.
You're awesome, man.
Not quite there with you in the memory. I don't know how you do it. You're still amazing me how you just throw some of these things out there and I look them up and you're right. But
that's the reason I left my keys in the car today.
Well, had nothing to,
baseball's different.
that's
Everything
right.
else, no chance.
Had nothing to do with baseball.
So 2 out, sacks packed. And here's Mags. Oh, Mags. Right man, right spot. Outfield playing him to pull. Curveball, no, thank you. And here's a huge pitch in this sequence coming up.
We're talking about a team driving in so many runs with 2 outs. This is a backbreaker right here if he can drive one in the gap.
That's into right field. Conine giving chase. He's got room. Makes the catch in fair territory, and that'll retire the side of the Sox. Put that crooked number up on the board. A 3 spot. We'll go to the 3rd, leading by 2. 4-2 Sox here in the top of the 3rd inning. Jim Parquet will face the top of the Oriole order. Anderson, DeShields, and Surhoff. Brady was hit on the 2nd pitch of the ball game, and he scored on the double by Delino DeShields. There's a good fastball strike. Just off the outside corner. Checking the slate of action over in the National League. Cubs will be taking on the Astros at Enron Field. That's out of play. Bottom of the 6th inning down at Turner Field in Atlanta. 2-0 Braves over the Dodgers. Top of the 8th at Shea Stadium. Cincinnati and the Mets are tied at 1. St. Louis leading Milwaukee 1-0 top of the 2nd at Busch Stadium. San Diego 6, Pittsburgh 0. Bottom of the 5th at Three Rivers. Ball hit hard. Off the glove of Konerko. That was just a bullet.
That was just a base hit.
Bullet.
Nothing anybody's going to do about that. Put Keith Hernandez over there. He wouldn't have got that. Well, maybe.
That's all you can do. Put your glove down and try to come up with it.
It's just a timing thing. Coming that fast, it's not too easy to time, though.
Here's DeShields. He's now 7 for 14 in this series with a homer and 8 RBIs. Takes a strike on the outside corner. You see a guy up there like he is, looking at the ball the way he is, keeping those hands back. You better make some good pitches. That's inside.
That's exactly right. When you're that hot, doesn't matter what you throw up there, he's going to be on it. Like you said last night, the ball looks like a balloon coming up there.
Off-speed pitch out in front, fouls it down. And if you're just tuning in, here's that double in the first inning. He jumped all over first ball fastball from Parquet. Just drilled it out in that gap. His 5th two-bagger of the season. It's a great feeling.
Driving that ball.
Well, when you're seeing it that well.
You don't even feel it hit the wood.
Good close pitch right there.
It's a good pitch, even if he doesn't throw a strike.
Even if he doesn't get it, right.
The umpire will start realizing that he has this kind of pinpoint control, and who knows, 1 inch towards the plate, and he starts giving it to him.
Anderson, decent lead. The 2-2 pitch. Tardy right there.
Jimmy going right back out there for that corner again.
And a reminder, party areas at Comiskey Park are great for entertaining clients or groups of any size. These party areas include the patio, gate 1, terrace, and diamond suites. So just call the Sox at 312-674-1000. Leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning. Full count. There's a rule when a guy's going as well as DeShields is. When he takes a close pitch, normally it's a ball.
He's seeing the ball that well. He knows. The umpire knows.
Oh, they got him. Oh, they got him. Give it to him. That a boy. Put it on him. Well, the second man picked off by Parquet. 1 out.
Jimmy does have a good move, and he's shown it twice today.
You know, his move from up here does not look that good, but from the first base angle, it's got to be very deceptive.
I've seen it from the dugout view, and you get a better angle, and it's deceptive. You don't pick 2 guys off in the same game for that.
Gets a nice little 7 bridges bounce right there. 2 gone. Boy, what a big pickoff that was. 1 pitch away from having 2 men on, nobody out. Now nobody on and 2 out, and here's Surhoff.
An inning saver. Sometimes you need a break like that. Get some luck.
You do.
Oh, even though that was a double play ball.
Well, in that other situation, though, he may not have thrown the same pitch.
No, he would have. Same result would have happened, trust me.
How do you know?
You know how lucky I've been so far. I was just about to call that. Ground ball to second base.
It's Swami. Swami.
That's Chris Berman.
Swami Jackson. 2 hopper, Valentín. Over to Konerko, and that'll do it. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd leading 4-2. Paul Konerko will lead it off. Sox batted around in the 2nd inning. Paulie takes strike 1. Four, 5-0 for the Sox. 2-3-1 for the Orioles. That ball hit deep, way back. Surhoff looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! A bomb off the bat of Paul Konerko. And it's a 5-2 Sox lead. He heard it.
I don't think anybody's going to hit a ball harder than that. That ball went about 420 feet away from home plate. He got the pitch, and he hit the pitch. That's as pretty as the swing we saw the other night from him.
Well, he's got the prettiest right-handed swing in the American League, maybe in all of baseball.
It looks picture perfect on his finish. It's beautiful.
Breaking ball inside to Chris. Singleton had an RBI triple and scored a run last inning. Swami's picked a click.
I don't think that's going to stick, buddy.
Paulie now with 6, and he's driven in 22. As the count moves to 1-2 to Singleton. What a beautiful swing.
Contrast. Chris Singleton's his swing, it looks like he's always working.
Yeah.
We're going to see this beautiful finish. Oh,
look at those hips. Look at that post.
Take a picture and put it up on the wall. It's not going to get any better.
Remember, I mentioned to you at Sox Fest, the swing reminds me so much of Al Kaline.
Yes, you did.
Kaline had the prettiest right-handed swing, and Konerko, he reminds me so much of Linus. Unbelievable. Well, he's got more power. Kaline hit 399 home runs. There's a breaking ball, chop foul. Twig will knock it down, pick it up, make himself a new fan and a new friend. And a reminder, you can visit the official website of the Sox at whitesox.com. Shop for all your White Sox gear on the web. Get caps, jerseys, collectibles, and much, much more. Dozens of items are available. Just click on shopping at whitesox.com. That's ball 4. Here comes Carlos. Strikeout victim his first trip.
Unless you've got a bullpen like the Chicago White Sox, you need your starters to go deep into the game, where sometimes you can expose that long relief that's been struggling. And that's, I'd say, the one problem the Orioles have had so far this year has been their middle long relief.
And while we have a moment, a big White Sox hello and congratulations to Ben Budka on the loss of his first tooth.
Tooth Fairy was good to him too.
Yeah. Jim probably gave him a nickel.
There were other contributors that kicked it up, though.
Kicked it up to $4.
That's right.
Now that's a bunch. 2-0 the count to Carlos. Will Clark's going to come over. A few pearls of wisdom.
And the old pat on the back and say, hey, here we go, settle down. You got guys behind you that can throw the leather. Give us a try.
You go over there and tell them, hey, give us a chance to help. Well, it's just getting to the point now that you cannot, from the pitching. We're talking about it's incumbent upon the pitchers right now to start making adjustments with this ball they're playing with. They have got to raise the bar. I mean, if they don't do it, then nothing's going to change. You're going to see bombs being hit out as there goes Chris Johnson. No throw, as that's ball 4. But the pitchers are going to have to start raising that bar. And the first point, or the first issue, is first pitch strike. You're going to have to start, if they go deep into the counts, if they start going 2-0, 3-1 like we have seen. And you know, DJ, it's understandable from a pitching standpoint because the ball is so hot that they're trying to make perfect pitches all the time.
We can say it's, got something to do with them knowing that the ball's jumping off the bat, but still you have to know how to pitch, and that's getting ahead of hitters. That's the most important thing. I think any pitching coach or any manager is going to tell you. You fall behind hitters in big league level, you're in trouble.
Well, you look at all the guys who are winning. Forget about Pedro, and forget about Randy Johnson. Put those two aside. But look at the other guys like a Scott Schoenweiss. He's 4-0 with the Angels. He pitched a great ball game against us. Beat us 3-1, and he was 0-1 on everybody. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 0-2.
I think that's the best deterrent against good hitting. Start with the hitter in the hole.
Norton takes ball 1. Yeah, the pitchers are going to have to do it themselves. They're not going to get any help. And they're just going to have to, absolutely, as a ball 2. They're going to have to get out of that frame of mind of possibly, whether it be conscious or subconscious, being afraid of the bat.
Look at Twig over there with the Sox futuristic glasses.
I like them. I'm going to have to get me some of those. It's 3-0.
You'd make those look bad.
Those wouldn't fit on my nose, man. Twig's got that little bitty schnoz.
The official glasses of the Sox. Here's the
like
future.
Those will work. Wear those on the golf course. There's a strike.
But it does come down to a simple thing. Baseball is a game of adjustments for pitchers, fielders, hitters, coaches, managers. Everybody has to change. Doesn't matter how. The ball game evolves, and you got to go with it.
3-1 pitch. Checks it up. That'll load him up. 3 consecutive walks issued by Calvin Maduro. And here comes Mark Johnson.
I'm saying the Orioles have the same problem the Sox had 2 nights ago. Putting the runners on for free, and that usually adds to a lot of trouble.
Well, that's 6 walks issued thus far. 2+ innings. And there's a slow curveball that misses. Sox on top 5-2 with a chance to do a whole bunch of damage. As there's a strike. Activity. Big southpaw B.J. Ryan. Outfield just about straight up. Bit of a gap. And there's a change out in front. Cues it foul. Craig Wilson on deck to hit for Ray Durham.
Ray hurt himself running down that first base line and leaping for the bag.
That's not good when Ray Durham comes out of a ball game.
No.
You know he is hurting.
He looked like he jammed his heel into the dirt, hustling to stay out of a double play.
That's into right field, and that's a base hit. Conine gets it on the first hop. As Singleton scores, it's 6-2 Sox. Attaboy, Mark.
The hitter's in control in these situations. Bases loaded. You know he doesn't want to throw a ball in the dirt very often. MJ just trying to get the job done, drive it out towards the outfield. No matter what, he's going to drive in a run if he does. Got himself a base hit in the process.
We will give you the report on Ray Durham as soon as we receive it. There are the numbers on Craig. Ray was 1 for 2. He started off the ball game. That's short fly ball. Carlos. Yeah, Surhoff, he's not going anywhere. Surhoff gets in position, makes the throw, and that's out number 1. So here comes Jose. Jose, a bunt single and a rocket RBI double. Boy, he scalded that double, didn't he? He got a live bat left-handed.
Jose's been hitting the ball hard for quite a while. He's waiting to jump on that RBI bandwagon like everybody else. There's been so many guys picking up clutch RBI after clutch RBI.
Takes that fastball right there.
We have 4 guys with 20-plus RBIs. Chris Singleton joined the club today. That makes 5 guys.
And this is a 22nd game. That's truly.
That's a nice pace.
I mean, that's amazing.
You and I are going to be amazed every day because you see guys fall off, and this is a long period of time they've been doing this.
Good rip of that fastball. But he's down in the count 1-2. 6-7-0 for the Sox, 2-3-1 for the Birds. Takes it up. Lee at third. Norton at second. Johnson at first. Here's a big man for Baltimore right here.
He's gonna hurt him.
Full count.
We saw it last night. Jose has really turned up his concentration in these pressure situations, been in scoring position.
Well, you know what's happening with the Sox so far in this young season. As here's the payoff pitch. There's a shot. Stay fair. It will. Thank you very much. Down into the corner. Here comes Carlos. Here comes Norton. They're waving Johnson around. He's going to score. That will clear the bases. And the Sox lead it 9-2.
Yes! I tell you, Jose has just turned his concentration up a notch the last couple of games in these big RBI situations, and just jumped on the bandwagon with everybody else and says, hey, I'm right there with you guys. You're not leaving me behind.
So all 3 walks issued by Maduro have crossed home plate as the Sox have put a 5 spot on the board. But you know, I was getting back. You know what's happening with the Sox is every time they get a pitcher in trouble out there, they act like he's the one in trouble, not them. And you know, for the past couple of years, DJ, our hitters would go up there, and in situations like that, it appeared that the hitter was in trouble.
These guys look like a totally different ball club compared to last year, and it's the same guys. I have never seen a team mature so quickly in situations of pressure. It's amazing that it's the exact same team almost. It's impressive.
So Frank, who had a sacrifice fly, he just missed it in the first inning. He was intentionally walked last inning. He's intentionally walked here, and the Sox men at first and third, 1 out, and here comes the 9th hitter this inning. 2 consecutive innings, they bat around. 8th time on the season.
Told you before, you don't see it happen. Maybe halfway through a season, you'll see a team do this. And we've done it in 22 games. All I can say, if people want to see some good hitting, this is the team to watch.
Here's Maggs 0 for 2. Takes that pitch inside. Konerko on deck. He started it off with a homer, a long homer. 2-0. Maggs in the catbird seat. Look at that. 5 guys, 22 balls.
That is just team play if you've ever seen it. Everybody contributing.
That ball hit in center field. Anderson's there. Jose's going to tag and score, and it's a 10-2 Sox lead. RBI number 17 for Ordonez. So here's Pauly. Infield single. He scored a run last inning and led this inning off, as I mentioned, with a tremendous home run, a bomb.
We have got to be leading all of baseball in sacrifice flies so far this year.
They're picking them up.
They're just not leaving the guys out there. It's just unbelievable.
Fastball strike, outside edge.
Well, Ron Joshua was down there working with these guys every day, and he must have these guys in a regular routine to where they're just staying very consistent.
That's popped up foul ground. Will Clark over by the photographer's well makes the catch, and that'll retire the side, but another huge crooked number goes up on that board. A 6 spot. We'll go to the 4th, leading by 8. Meanwhile, Albert Bell will lead it off against Jim Parquet. 10 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Sox. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Orioles. Albert with a man on third, 1 out back in the 1st inning. The 3-0 count, hit a hard shot to Ray Durham, who threw out Delino DeShields at home.
Jim Parquet with an 8-run cushion has got to still concentrate and make sure that he has a solid outing. He doesn't want to just get laxed up there and lose that concentration. Sometimes, you know, you feel real comfortable because you got all these runs scored and forget to concentrate and get the hitters out.
Well, you got to treat it like it's a nothing to nothing ball game, and that takes experience. 2-1.
Jimmy came out and did the right thing to start this inning, which was get right ahead of Albert. But he's fallen to 2-1 in the count.
Well, Albert, as we were talking, watching him take batting practice, his swing is one in which it's a manufactured swing.
Labor of love.
And there's a strike. And if his mechanics get off a little bit, he goes through these droughts, these little slumps, until he gets them in order. And once he gets them in order, then he's as good as anybody.
Chicago saw that a few years ago.
It's easy to see what he's doing right now.
Just don't share it with the world.
No. But if you're home watching, just watch the actions of Albert Bell. Just watch the movement when the pitch is being made. Jammed him, ate him up. Little blooper. Wilson cannot get there, so a little duck snort by Bell. Good pitch by Parquet. This case right there where Albert was looking for it, got it, and got sawed off.
But sometimes that's all it takes is a little bit of love like that, and it could get you going. A little bloop hit. Sawed off.
Here's Conine. He ripped a double in the left center field and scored his first trip. Curveball high. To another count. So now the big White Sox low and a speedy recovery to Bill Peterson. His mom Rose, big Sox fan. Speedy recovery. Billy. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. Pops him up right side. Wilson makes the catch. That's out number 1. So here's Ripken. Grounded out to Norton his first trip.
Jim Parquet looks like he's still doing what he has to. He's pitching. He's not just laying these guys some cookies in there. He's going to give them everything that he owns. Not going to just say, here's something to hit at somebody, I hope.
Broken bat. Norton. Wilson. And the high throw pulls Konerko off the bag. So that's out number 2. Well, he gave him good feed, just a little bit of high toss by Wilson.
Norty did not shy away from that throw.
No.
Winged it over there with something on it.
So here's Clark. He was hit by a pitch his first trip. A little tardy on that fastball. Oh, and 2 the count. Just joining us, Orioles with 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Sox with 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 6 in the third. Pretty good pitch right there.
Yeah, Jimmy reached back to a 90-plus fastball, trying to catch Will Clark off guard. Sometimes that's all it does, is catches you off guard and freezes you and you can't catch up to it.
There's a little chopper. Konerko's got it. He'll take it himself, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 4th, leading by 8. 24-year-old southpaw. He's a big man. 6'6", 230 pounds. Out of Benton, Louisiana. That's near Shreveport. B.J. Ryan. There he is, numbers. 11 strikeouts and 9 in the third. As Chris Singleton will lead it off. Chris has tripled, walked, scored 2, and driven in 1. Takes a strike.
Yeah, he's facing this BJ, and he has got a herky-jerky motion. Can throw you off a little bit.
And that's ripped into center field for a base hit. So the leadoff man aboard. And that'll bring up Carlos Lee, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored.
Well, we talk about how it could throw you off a little bit, this guy's motion, but Chris, as we know, last year was one of the top left-handed hitters in the league against left-handed pitching. Not much is going to trick him.
Ryan grabs a strike. Just joining us, just 1 home run in the ball game. Paul Konerko, 6th of the season. And it was no cheapie. That's on the outside edge. Yeah, you got to get past this. You got to focus past this if you're a hitter. That motion of his.
He just drops that arm down, slings it. You see all kinds of things jumping around out there at you. It's not very fluid.
Carlos slaps that one foul into the mezzanine, the low section. Gap in right center field. He made a good pitch. Maybe a little outside.
Yeah, he's been calling it right out there on Carlos. Shouldn't catch him off guard.
Yep. A little outside.
You and I talk about that all the time. Maybe a little bit off the plate, but if the umpire has been calling it, you know what to expect.
There's a strike to Norton. He's walked twice and scored twice.
Doesn't make it any easier to hit, but it shouldn't catch you off guard.
Well, what are you looking for in an umpire, DJ?
Consistency.
Fouls that one back.
You want him to be really good, but I'll tell you what, if he's not, he better be consistent at least.
Oh, 2 the count to Norty. Mark Johnson on deck. There's a breaking ball in the dirt. Checking some other scores. Top of the 8th at Atlanta. Braves leading the Dodgers 6-3. Mets hitting in the bottom of the ninth, tied at 1 with Cincinnati. St. Louis shutting out Milwaukee 1-0. Bottom of the 4th in Missouri. That's in the center field. A can of corn for Brady Anderson. 2 gone. San Diego hitting in the top of the 7th inning, leading Pittsburgh 6-4. The Phillies in the bottom of the 2nd scoreless against the Diamondbacks. So here's Mark. A walk, an RBI single, and a run scored. Breaking pitch, no.
Everybody, as usual, for the Sox doing something to help this team win today. This game's not over, but either way, they're contributing. Each and every one of them.
Three and 0 the count. Wilson on deck. We still have not received a report on the status of Ray Durham. There's a strike. Again, as all Sox fans know, if he had to come out of the ball game, he was hurting.
Hopefully it's one of those situations where the game was a little secure already and they didn't want to take any chances and leaving Ray out there.
There's not a bone bruise on his heel. You ever had one of those?
Oh, that is just stay with you for the whole season.
I did that in the 7th game of the World Series. Trying to beat out a double play ball. Hit the bag wrong with my heel. And for 2 weeks it burned. And fortunately, that was the last game of the season, you know, of the year. But Bob Gibson beat us. I'm telling you, I couldn't hardly walk for 2 weeks.
Well, it constantly takes a beating if you keep playing on it.
Here's Wilson. Been to the plate one time. He popped up to Surhoff in left field. It's the only one I ever had.
I've done that, and it takes a long time for that to get away from you if you're a guy that runs a lot.
Fastball, no. That evens the count at 1. A ball, a strike, 2 out, 2 on. Here in the bottom of the 4th, 10-2 White Sox. Two and 1.
White Sox walked 12 batters 2 nights ago. Orioles are doing the favor, returning the favor today with 7 walks already. 8 walks already. Thank you.
2 hopper. Bordick, he'll just take it himself, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. Couple left. We'll go to the 5th, leading by 8. Charles Johnson will lead off the Baltimore 5th. 10-9-0 for the Sox. 2-4-1 for the Orioles. It'll be Johnson, Bordick, and then back to the top of the order, Brady Anderson. Charles hit a little number down the third base line. Parquet made a fine play to throw him out. as he takes a strike. Just off the inside corner, 1-1. Once again, tomorrow night starts that 3-game series at Comerica Park against the Tigers. James Baldwin against Jeff Weaver. That game will be over WGN. Saturday and Sunday's games will be right here over Fox Sports Net. Saturday, Cal Eldred against Dave Malicki. Sunday, Mike Sorotka against Hideo Nomo, who has really been pitching well for the Tigers.
It should be a very exciting series.
Here's a payoff pitch. Yes, he's gone. He'll grab some bench. First strikeout for Parquet. That's the first time that the leadoff man has not reached.
Jimmy locates this fastball in the inside corner where he has to pitch to be successful. Ties Charles Johnson up just enough to where he can't make that contact.
Here's Bordick, 33-year-old veteran. Fly to Ordonez his first trip. What a day. What a day here in the beautiful city of Chicago. 66 degrees at game time. And a bit of a late arriving crowd.
Turned out very nice today. I like the idea of sitting out there in short sleeves.
2-1. They have seen some action. In the very first inning, Baltimore with 1. Sox came right back. Baltimore scored 1 in the top of the second, led it 2-1. Sox came up with 3 in the second, lead at 4-2. As that's into left field. Carlos will not be able to get there. Ball hit softly. Well, the 1-out single by Bordick. But then that big 6-run third. And here's Brady Anderson. Brady 1 for 1 with a run scored. Parquet has picked off a couple of guys. Got Bell in the first, Anderson in the third. Nerko playing behind Bordick. That slap going foul.
Jimmy picked those guys off. It was a good time to pick them off. And
especially in the third.
Right now, nobody has any business being picked off at a ball game like 10-2 lead by the White Sox. So, as you pointed out, PK playing a little bit behind Bordick. He's got nowhere to go.
Off the end of the bat, Wilson makes the catch. And it's out number 2. So here comes Delino DeShields. RBI double in the first. And he grounded to second in the third. Hitting at .333. DeShields appears to me to be seeing the ball as well as anybody we have seen all year against us.
He just told you that right there. He hardly flinched, just turned into that ball. Usually when a ball's inside like that, you're not seeing it well. You kind of flinch a little bit, pull off of it a little bit. No, he saw it as soon as it left Jimmy's hand and closed up and just not going to even offer.
Good fastball strike. And the count 2-1.
You saw it right there again. He just looks so soft, so comfortable.
So calm and confident. There's a chopper, 3-hopper. Wilson's got it over to Konerko, and it'll retire the side. We are halfway home, waiting 10-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. Let's check out our Fox Sports Net game summary. 10-2 good guys. Sox 6 times scoring 10 runs this season. Valentín 3 for 3, a double, a triple. 4 ribbies. Konerko a 6-homer. Parquet pitching well once again. B.J. Ryan's first pitch. Fastball fouled back by José. A bunt single, a double, a triple. So he's sitting on the possibility of the cycle. Rich Amaral in right field as that pitch fouled back, and very quickly 0-2.
Third time this year the Sox have had somebody sitting on an opportunity for a cycle. The other being Chris Singleton and Maglio Ordonez.
Yeah, Mags. Safe for him. And if you miss that triple in the 3rd, Sacks packed. There's an off-speed pitch, and he goes down. Second strikeout for Ryan. And here comes Big Frank. Frank, a sacrifice fly, and intentionally walked twice in this game. Takes that pitch down low, and a reminder, the Sox 7, that's a special discounted 7-game White Sox ticket plan where you can choose any 6 home games and receive a 7th game for just $1 per ticket. So for more information, dial 312-674-1000. 2-0 the count to Thomas. Grabs the strike. Hit hard and fair by Ripken. So Frank going to give it a shot. Surhoff with a very accurate arm. This one's off the mark. He's in there with that's a hustle double.
That's what it is. He caught Surhoff off guard. Here's a guy that hustles to the ball all the time, gets it in quickly. He actually hesitated once he picked the ball up, thinking Frank was going to stop. Frank rounded first base, said, "Hey, you got to throw me out. My foot's feeling good."
You know, the big man, he's a glider, but he can get there.
Oh, he moves good now.
Yes, he does.
Don't kid yourself.
Nags takes down low. Conine is at first base, so Will Clark out of the ball game. Two and 0 the count. And we get the report, if you're just tuning in, Ray Durham had to leave the ball game. He has a jammed heel. Got that fastball by him, and the count 2-1. 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Baltimore. Two and 2. Activity down in that Baltimore pen. Wetzel, Gary, Buddy Groom. Loosening up out of Dallas, Texas. Count goes full to Ordonez. Konerko on deck.
Good person to be a fan of.
Yes, it is. Nice ground ball, right side. Delino to Shields, up with it. Over to Conine. 2 out, Thomas in the 3rd. Here comes Konerko. Paulie 2 for 3 in this game. Single, a homer. feel about equidistant, slightly to the left, as that pitch misses high off the plate. Big Frank at third. There's a breaking ball hit to Bordick. He's got some good hands, and that'll do it as Konerko busting down the line. We have finished 5, leading by a bunch. B.J. Surhoff will lead off the Orioles 6th. 10-2 Sox. Takes that pitch outside. Surhoff is grounded to second. He is grounded to short.
B.J.'s dad, Dick, played in the NBA for the Knicks.
He just ate him up right there. Good pitch by Parquet. Willie over to Konerko. Lead man gone. Now Surhoff, solid competitor.
It's in his blood. He had a brother that I played with in the minor leagues, the Cubs system.
Same thing.
He also played in the big leagues for the Rangers and the Phillies. Rich. Not much time, but he got there. So that tells you about that athletic family of his.
Here's Albert. Albert 1 for 2. Had a little duck snort single into right field. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Mr. Intensity, Albert Bell. Fan favorite here in Chicago, it appears.
$13,225 in attendance this afternoon.
Mark Johnson got that goat head in his glove, butting the ball out of there.
That ejector button.
That's it.
On that pitch.
Maxwell Smart's little MG car he drove.
Inside, 2-1. There's a strike on the outside corner to even the count.
Talked about it earlier. Jimmy's got to continue to pitch his little tail off, and he's continuing to do that. He's not giving in to these guys. He's making pitch after pitch.
Just misses. Well, again, learning how to pitch with a lead early in a ball game takes some experience. Some guys go out there, as you were talking about, DJ. They go out there and they lose that edge of the intensity. I saw something happen one time. I never forget it. He just ate him up right there. Good pitch. Wilson, 2 gone. Albert now 1 for 16 in this series. So, the Boston Red Sox scored 9 runs in the first inning against the Yankees. And Roger Clemens was pitching for Boston.
Don't tell me he went out there and gave it up.
Did he give it up? He didn't get out of the second inning.
No way. Now you're talking about a serious lack of giving in, which he would never do in a tight ball game.
Didn't get out of the second inning.
This just happened 3 or 4 years ago, right?
No, this happened a long time.
Oh, yeah, he's been out of Boston for a while. I just remember seeing where he had one of his shortest outings. Maybe it was with Toronto recently, but 2 1/3, you say?
No, he didn't get out of the second.
Oh.
1-2 the count to Conine, who has doubled and popped a second.
That just tells you
He
right
left
there.
the score was 10-9 Yankees.
That tells you right there that he went out there saying, okay, here's the ball, hit it at somebody.
They did.
And that's exactly right. You know, hitters get mad when they're getting beat by a whole bunch and the pitcher doesn't challenge him. I'm looking at him like, what's he supposed to do? Lay it into you so you can raise his ERA up about 15 points? Come on. He wants to keep that ERA as low as possible. So you have to, as a hitter, take that same approach. It's a tight game.
Well, that was when the Rocket was dealing, too.
dealt his whole career through Boston. So
That was back in 1988.
a young Roger Clemens.
Ball hit into deep left center. Singleton back, looks up. He put it on the board. Got him 1-2, went full, and it's a 10-3 ball game. Third homer of the season for Jeff Conine.
Talked about Conine's swing a little earlier in the game, where he is short and explosive through the hitting zone, and he's going to miss. Hardly a finish at all. Just throws the head through there, drops the bat, starts to jogging.
Ripken takes off the plate. Well, the only thing that'll tell you that swing of his, as we talked about last night, he's got strong hands.
He's not a little guy. He's stocky, strong.
Come on, Jimmy. 2-0 the count to Ripken. Amaral on deck. Three-0. Come back and get him. No walks. No walks. Four in a row. First base on balls issued by Parquet. And Artie Contreras out, slowly out of the dugout.
Jimmy's got to want to finish this inning. Maybe give somebody in the pen a chance to get an innings work in today would be good, but he needs to get himself through the sixth inning here and help the team out a bit.
Well, his last start against the Tigers in that fight-filled game last Saturday, he went 7, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned, just 3 hits. The only earned run was that home run he threw to Wendell McGee Jr. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Got some activity now in the Sox pen. There's right-hander. Who else? Sean Lowe.
Of course. He has been the man.
Amaral takes ball 1. A 38-year-old veteran, former Sox farmhand. Two and 0.
Facing a UCLA alum, just as himself, Amaral and Parquet, both Bruins.
That's 7 in a row thrown by Parquet. There's one.
This is a part of the game where Jimmy last year would always seem to hit a wall, so he needs to fight through it and finish this off.
He's going to into center field. Singleton. He'll make that catch if it comes down. That'll retire the side, but the homer by Jeff Conine will go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 10-3. Good guys. Oh, man.
Onion.
Onion. I love onion.
Oh, I know you do. I smell them over here.
Josh.
Those look like Twigs glasses.
Pitching change for Baltimore. It'll be Wetzel Gary Buddygroom III of Dallas, Texas, coming off for the 10th time. 0-1, 2 saves, 2.61 ERA. Well, he looks like he's changed his motion around a little bit, throwing more across his body.
Is that good or bad?
It's going to give him more movement. So he can stay on top of the breaking ball. It'll be good for him.
Thank you.
Guys that throw across their body, though, have a tendency to hang. I used to love the face guys throw across their body.
I didn't.
Ooh, I did. They have a tendency to hang a slider, hang a curveball.
Unless you've got proof.
So here is Chris. He's 2 for 2, a triple, a single, and a walk. Fouls that one back. He also has knocked in one, scored one. 10-3 Sox here in the bottom of the 6th. Sox trying to close out this homestand with an 8-3 mark. There goes a shattered bat. Watch out, buddy. Bordick. One gone. And a reminder, at the Oakbrook Center, the White Sox clubhouse shop, there's no service charge for tickets purchased at the White Sox clubhouse shop at Oakbrook Center. The shop is open from 10 to 9 Monday through Saturday and 11 to 6 on Sunday. Jeff Abbott hitting for Carlos. Carlos 0 for 2 today, but he did walk and he did score.
Contributed any way he could. A group theme around here.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's evolved into. That's a good feeling. For many players, not all, but for many players, the most important time of the day is when they leave their house or apartment and come to the ballpark. As that ball sliced down the right field line and going foul. Boy, when you have that chemistry going and you're playing solid baseball, picking up some wins, it's great to get in that car and come to the park.
You definitely look forward to getting here and being with the guys. Not that you don't want to be at home with your family and friends, but your job is a lot of fun. And we're talking about everybody as a group and contributing. I heard Frank talking the other day to Maglio as Jeff Abbott swings at that breaking ball and strikes out. And talking about the fact that whatever it takes, walk, run scored, you're contributing, you're part of the team. So it's good to hear Frank, and he's talking to guys on the team talking about that kind of stuff. So.
Well, conversely, the worst feeling a ball player can have is when he gets in that car and didn't want to come to the yard. But you've been there. We all have been there.
I've been there because I didn't like the guys I was playing with.
Right.
Or it's because I was struggling.
Norton hits that ball into center field. Anderson right at him. He's there. Reaches up, hauls it in very quickly. Buddy Groom, a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across. We go to the 7th, leading by 7. Top of the 7th inning. Sox lead by 7. Jim Parquet will face Johnson, Bordick. Back to the top of the order with Brady Anderson. Charles 0 for 2 this afternoon. Jeff Abbott. In left field for Carlos Lee. As that pitch foul back. Cubs have scored a pair, still hitting in the top of the 1st at Enron Field. Top of the 9th in Atlanta, Braves leading the Dodgers 6-3. They're into the top of the 11th now at Shea Stadium, Cincinnati. And the Mets tied at 1. Milwaukee has come back to tie up the Cardinals at 1. Brewers hitting in the top of the 6th. 9-4 San Diego over Pittsburgh, top of the 9th at Three Rivers. And Philadelphia shutting out the D-backs 2-0, top of the 4th at Veterans Stadium. Only other American League games slated for today, Tampa Bay at Anaheim, and that's tonight.
Well, Johnson still got that goat head in there. Just keeps popping out.
That'll show, that's good. That'll show a little movement on Parquet's fastball.
I guess so. There, MJ's a little tired.
Ooh, he got away with one right there. Hanging curveball. Let her high.
Sometimes you can get away with that when the guy's not really locked in.
Well, when you've been keeping the ball down as well as he has, too. Count hangs at 2-2.
A lot of times I'd be hitting, you can make a mistake to me, and it was the best thing you could do when you were a good pitcher. Because I was looking on the inside corner or the outside corner, not down the middle. Sometimes the best way to get you out.
The ball hit into right center field. Mags One gone. Orioles in the first 4 innings had the leadoff man aboard. Mike Hargrove will tell us that the attitude in that Oriole clubhouse is entirely different.
That's from some personal information.
Here's Bordick. He's 1 for 2. Takes a strike. Good strike by Parquet.
Talking about how hitters get themselves out. I faced Dennis Eckersley one time. Gave me a strike on the outside corner, strike on the outside corner. Whoa.
Into center field. Chris is right there. 2 gone.
I sat there 0-2 thinking, okay, he's just going to go a little bit further off the outside corner. It's 0-2. See, he throws a fastball right down the middle. I look at it and he's just laughing at me.
Well, this is what, the 22nd game we're playing this year?
Yes.
That's the 3rd time you've told that story.
No, it is not.
I'm telling you it is. Here's Brady Anderson.
It's the 3rd time I've told you. First time on mic.
No. Breaking ball, base hit. So Brady now 2 for 3.
Don't you know repetition is good? We always talk about that.
Hey, he's the greatest teacher in the world.
Might be somebody out there that missed that story.
Well, 2nd greatest teacher. Greatest teacher is experience. Here's Delino DeShields 1 for 3. RBI double in the 1st inning.
Never hear a good story too much.
You're right. A good story.
All right.
Can't get the fastball.
Don't let me get started with good ones then.
We mentioned the Sox will conclude this homestand this series. Board your charter going over to Detroit tomorrow night. James Baldwin against Jeff Weaver. The Orioles will leave after the ball game and go home. Be hosting the Rangers for 2 and the Angels for 3. So the Sox started off on this, what was supposed to be a 12-game homestand. Of course, one of them got rained out with the Mariners. Started off, they lost 2 out of 3 to the Angels. That's trouble. That's into the gap. He's swinging that magic 1. Anderson being waved around. He's going to score, and it's a 10-4 ball game. Shields swinging that hot bat.
Yes, he is. He's not missing many opportunities to drive the ball in the gap. Last night he drove one all right in the gap and nicked the top of the fence and went right on over it.
That's his 9th RBI in this series.
That's a good series. Considering he came into the series with, what, 5 RBIs? 6 RBIs at the start of this series.
Zerhoff takes up high. The Sox started off this series losing 2 out of 3 to the Angels. They swept the 2-game abbreviated set against the Mariners, swept the Tigers, trying to make it 3 out of 4 here against the Orioles. 2-0. Parkey. No walks. There's a strike.
Jimmy, just like last inning, getting the first 2 hitters out, didn't have no trouble. Sean Lowe out there in the bullpen getting it heated up again.
Fight set, pitch off. That evens the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. DeShields at second. The Sox with a 6-run lead.
Make yourself a pitch right here, Jimmy, and get out of this.
Fastball. Well, I'm glad to see Jimmy out there. Second straight start, 7 innings for me. This is certainly a 7-inning outing. And at that point, you start to build up some arm strength.
And some confidence about going past 5 innings, which last year he had trouble getting past that. So maybe this is the start of something good.
Close pitch, didn't get it.
Tell me.
I'll tell you after the pitch. The 3-2. He loses him. And here comes the skipper, Jerry Manuel. So another fine outing by Jim Parquet. As he will depart, you'll get a nice round of applause from the 13,225, and we'll be back. Good effort by the 24-year-old southpaw Jim Parquet. Goes 6 2/3, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And he departs here in the top of the 7th with a run in, 2 out, and 2 on. So Albert Bell will be the hitter to face Sean Lowe, making his 12th appearance. 1-0, 2.03 ERA. So here's Bell. He's 1 for 3. Cubs scored 5 times in the top of the 1st at Houston. 4 first-inning home runs off Jose Lima.
Take Jose Lima out of that dome, and oh, he seems to be human.
Eric Young, Ricky Gutierrez, Henry Rodriguez, and Damon Buford all went deep in the top of the 1st inning. Enron Field. I said the way they're starting, every home run record that existed for one ballpark. Good pitch in on the fist.
Houston was happy to get an outdoor stadium. Well, they're going to see a whole bunch of exciting offense.
Retractable roof.
Well, they wanted that open air. They wanted to feel that again. And they've got it.
Big pitch right here. Up and in, 2-1. Well, we better take care of business right here. 10-10-0 for the Sox, 4-8-1 for the Orioles. And stay with us because baseball has just announced the fines and the suspensions as there's a good fastball strike of that brawl between the Sox and the Tigers. And from what we heard over the loudspeaker, it sounds almost incredible.
Beyond incredible.
So we will be coming back with that and tell you when we receive a copy of it. He's gone. Curveball. He'll grab some bench. And that'll do it. 7th inning stretch. 10-4 Sox. Mike Trombley comes on to pitch for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Sox on top 10-4. Mark Johnson fouls that pitch away. He's 1 for 1. Couple of walks, an RBI, and a run scored. And I'll tell you, I think this is ridiculous.
Well, I agree.
I think this is absolutely ridiculous.
There's certain things that I saw in that fight that do not.
I don't know what tapes.
I do not agree with some of these suspensions at all.
I don't know what tapes they were looking at. I'll tell you, that's unbelievable.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I saw certain things that some guys are getting off lightly, and other guys are getting it too swift. I mean, too heavily.
Pitch hit hard but foul, and the count 1-2. And in case you missed Mitch's, he only had a minute or so to tell you. From the Sox, Jerry Manuel gets 8 games. Keith Folk gets 3 games. Bobby Howery, 3 games. Carlos Lee, 3 games. Jim Parquet, 3 games. Tanyan Sturts, 3 games, and Mags Ordonez gets 5 games. For the Tigers, Phil Garner gets 8 games. That's off the end of the bat, popped up into short right field. He broke back coming on. Amaral makes a catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Craig Wilson. But getting back to the Tigers suspensions, we mentioned Garner, 8 games. Samuel, the coach, 15 games. Doug Brocail, 4 games. Encarnacion, 3 games. Robert Fick, 5 games. Kareem Garcia, who was sent down to the minor leagues, 3 games. As that's out number 2. Mark Lewis in at third base for Ripken. Bobby Higginson gets 5 games. Luis Polonia 3 games, and Dean Palmer gets 8 games. Plus, the following participants were fined but not suspended: Doug Manzolino, Matt Anderson, Todd Jones, Jim Poole, Jeff Weaver, Joe Nosick, Danny Patterson, Bill Seamus. In addition, 1 non-roster member of the Tigers was fined. Valentín takes a strike. Jose 3 for 4. A single, a double, and a triple. Well, they certainly watched something different than what we saw, and certainly different from what the tapes were. Get out of here. Get out of here. Way back, looks up. There's the cycle. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Well, the second White Sox in 2 years to hit for the Psycho. Jose Valentín, congratulations. He's a hard worker, and I'll tell you what, he went in style, finishing it up with a home run off of a tough right-handed pitcher.
Here's Big Frank. It's 11-4. And you see Cal Eldred giving his teammate, as now the fans want a curtain call, and he gives them one. And indeed, DJ, congratulations to a terrific addition to this ball club, Jose Valentín.
And he hit for the cycle in order. Single in the first, double in the second, triple in the third. Home run here in the 7th inning.
How many times, I wonder, has it been done in order like that? As that's popped up right side. Amaral makes the catch. That'll retire the side, but the cycle by Jose Valentín will go to the 8th, leading by 7. Sean Lowe. First pitch, fastball strike to Jeff Conine, who's 2 for 3 this afternoon. 11-11-0 for the Sox, 4-8-1 for the Orioles. And Jose Valentín, a cycle. Nice going, Jose.
Third opportunity this year for a Sox batter to hit for the cycle and finally have one guy come through.
That's popped up right side. Canerco fighting the sun, fighting to win. He's there, makes the catch for out number 1. Well, it's going to be interesting to see the appeal process.
Well, I think it's important to point out, as far as I know, those suspensions are handled one at a time. I don't know about the coaches, but the players.
Mark Lewis making his first at bat. Baltimore uniform. Takes ball 2. And we'll go over these suspensions for you one more time in case you're just tuning in or did not hear last inning. So you can get a better grasp. We'll do it slowly. For the Sox, Jerry Manuel gets suspended for 8 games. Keith Folk for 3 games. Bobby Howery, 3 games. Carlos Lee, 3 games. Jim Parquet, 3 games. Tanyan Sturts, 3 games. And Mags Ordonez, 5 games. Lewis pops this into the gap. Nobody's going to get that. So his first Baltimore at bat, he doubles. Mark Lewis has always been a good fastball hitter. For the Tigers, Phil Garner gets 8 games. Juan Samuel, a coach, gets 15 games. Roqueo gets 4 games. Encarnacion, 3 games. Robert Fick, 5 games. Kareem Garcia, no longer with him, 3 games. Bobby Higginson, 5 games. Luis Polonia, 3 games. And Dean Palmer, 8 games. Well, you know, when you're watching the films and you didn't see what really went on, the films really don't, according to how, you know, you're looking at it. But these things right here don't coincide with what we saw with our eyes.
No, not at all. Hey, we have our opinions, and we beg to differ with the outcome of these suspensions, that's for sure. But what are you going to do? As the appeal process comes into play, we'll see what happens.
He's gone. Amarillo, you'll grab some bench. Second strikeout. We're low. 2 down. Well, if they're trying to make a statement, they made it.
An overwhelming statement. Something I guarantee nobody anticipated.
Want to know the count?
I know you and I discussed it, and we just figured, hey, the main participants would be involved with this suspension process.
Charles Johnson, 0 for 3 today. That's into left field. Jeff Abbott's right there. Hauls it in. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 7. We're into the bottom of the 8th inning. 11-4 good guys. Sox with 1 in the first, 3 in the second, 6 in the third, 1 in the 7th. Of course, if you're just tuning in, that home run by Valentín put him on the board for a cycle. And a pitching change for Baltimore. It'll be the veteran right-handed reliever, Mike Timlin. He is the moving fastball, good sinker, Timlin's. For the Sox, it'll be Mags, Konerko, and Singleton, the schedule hitters. And a reminder, every Monday home game will let his family half-price Monday. All tickets are half the regular price. Now the next family half-price Monday is May 1st when the Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:05. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1-SOX. And we get a statement right here from General Manager Ron Schuler on the actions of baseball and the suspensions and the fines. Says, I will meet with our players and staff following the game, and we will announce any future steps and plans over the next day or so. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Mags. Mags 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. You know, DJ, that's got to be just a really tough job. Looking at films, trying to decide off films what goes on.
Well, I don't envy anybody having to
me either.
Look at that and come down with some kind of disciplinary action, and it's not an easy job. But
no, I'm just sitting here, you know, after I read it first, my first reaction was just like yours. You know, I was really irate to a point. And you think about it for just a little bit. As there's a chopper to Hopper. Mark Lewis, double clutches. Conine cannot come up with it, so Ordonez is safe. But if you think about it, just having the films, we had the pleasure, not the pleasure, I should say, that's the wrong word entirely. We had the opportunity to see what was happening, the whole scope of it. And then just to look at the films and go over those things frame by frame. Very difficult job. So that'll be an error on Conine.
Not a job that I would want to be sitting and trying to make decisions on. Videotape, sometimes you don't see the whole thing transpire from the beginning.
The pitch, chop foul. Probably 2 for 4. A single, a homer, and he scored a pair. Hitting at .341. Go along with those 6 homers and 22 ribbies. Out in front, hooks that one foul. So Temlin on top of Paul Konerko, 0-2.
Temlin, we talked about before, it's amazing how he even gets hit. He's got such a nasty, hard sinker that he throws, and a real hard slider to go with it. So he's got the ball moving 2 totally different directions. A lot of velocity on it. I don't know how he gets lit up.
You know, when he was with the Blue Jays, he had some real good successes. Look at this hitting by Konerko. Breaking ball down in the right field corner. Maggs is going to be held at third, so a double for Paulie, his 9th two-bagger.
I guess that's how he gets lit up. When a guy throws the bat out on a pitch on the out off the outside corner. It was up a little bit. That was gave him the opportunity to hit it. Gets that down into probably a totally different result.
So here's Chris. Singleton 2 for 3, a triple, a single, an RBI, and he scored a pair. Orioles bring the infield in. Nobody out. Jams him, pops him up. Delino DeShields going back. He's there. So here's Abbott. Been to the plate one time. Struck out on a breaking ball from Buddy Groom. Final from Atlanta, 6-3 Braves over the Dodgers. And sinker, chop foul over into the Sox dugout. Cincinnati scored one in the top of the 12th at Shea Stadium. 2-1 Reds. Nets hitting. Milwaukee has come back to take a 6-2 lead over the Cardinals. Game in the top of the 8th in St. Louis. San Diego hurt the Pirates 12-4 at Three Rivers. And Philadelphia still shutting out Arizona 2-0 top of the 6th at Veterans Stadium. Cubs 5, Houston 0. Top of the 3rd at Enron Field. 4 first-inning home runs. He got it. So now 2 out. And here comes Norton. They go for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. A reminder, for any 2000 White Sox home game, you can receive excellent discounts and personalized service from a White Sox sales representative for group outings of 20 more fans. So for details, call 312-674-1000. He's got some serious movement.
Tell you, if anybody's out there watching, they can obviously see that his pitches move as much as anybody's. It's just he gets them up sometimes and they get hit.
There's a fair ball. Nardi will get them both home. On his way to second, here's the throw by Amaral. Then they get him. Meanwhile, both runs score. We'll go to the ninth, leading 13-4. Top of the ninth inning, and a reminder, the director for Chicago White Sox baseball on Fox Sports Net is James A. Angio. James Arthur. Producer is Ron Stordo. Our associate producer is Dave Ross. Our stage manager is the mayor, none other than Joe Group. Production manager is Moheen Ramsey, and our executive director is Handsome Dan Lafferty. Pitching change for the Sox, coming on for Sean Lowe, who once again was just outstanding. Came on with a couple of men on back in the seventh inning. Struck out Albert Bell and pitched a scoreless eighth. So here's Jesse Garcia hitting for Mike Bordick. First pitch, right field, Mags. One pitch, one out. And right now, let's check out our Dodge drive of the game. Coming in the seventh off the bat of José Valentín. He had a single, he had a double, he had a triple, and now he's got the cycle. Our Dodge drive of the game.
Something beautiful to see. 2 straight years. That's something you can maybe not see in your lifetime, and it's happened twice.
Watch out. Brady Anderson, 2 for 3 in this game with a couple of runs scored.
Last year, Chris Singleton, first year in that White Sox uniform, hitting for the cycle. José Valentín, first year in that Sox uniform, hitting for the cycle. Wonder who's next year.
Jeff Leafer.
Jeff Leafer. He's been in the White Sox uniform now. Maybe Joe Creedy.
Hey, he can do it.
Your man.
Oh, he's going to be a player. Joe Creedy is going to be a player. 2-1 to count. (13-0) for the Sox, 4-9-2 for the Orioles. There's a strike. And he lost him. Here's Delino DeShields, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. He's driven in 9 in this series. There's a strike. You figure you get 12 RBIs from your second base shortstop combination in a 4-game series, you're going to do pretty well.
They just run up against a very hot team, and Chicago White Sox are taking no prisoners right now.
Sox trying to pick up their 15th victory in 22 games. Make it 8 of 9. And finish his homestand at 8-3. Got to get it down, Tanya. 2-1 to count.
We're talking about taking 3 out of 4 from a first place team when they came in here.
That's backing out of play Souvenir, 2-2. Sox. 44 runs they have scored so far in this 4-game set.
It just bumps that average up a little higher each game. 7.6 runs a game before today.
Ball hit well into center field. Singleton. He's got the bead and the ball. 2 gone. Tanyan. So 2 out here in the top of the 9th. And here comes B.J. Surhoff, 0 for 3. 2 for 14 in the series. Well, when you shut down Surhoff, 2 for 14 in the series. Bell, 2 for 17 in the series. As that pitch popped up. Come on, Norty. Somebody. Right in between the 3 convergence.
Teaser. Everybody's running a long way, very hard. Nothing anybody can do about it.
But you shut down Surhoff and Bell, the Orioles.
Yeah, you have a really good chance of coming through with a victory. They're 2 big RBI guys.
Four for 31 between them. And the count 0-2. That's fouled. Abbott giving chase. Bring it back in. Win. It does. He's there, and this ball game is over. So the Sox with some outstanding performances this afternoon from Jim Parquet and Jose Valentín. Making 3 out of 4 against this good Baltimore ball club, DJ.
These guys are running on all cylinders right now. You cannot stop them. The offense is just explosive with nothing but timely hit after hit, picking up 2-out RBI after RBI. The pitching's clicking right with them.
And let's check out our Advanced Auto Parts player of the game. You're looking at him, the shortstop, Jose Valentín. A single in the first, a double in the second, a triple in the third, a homer in the 7th. Our Advanced Auto Parts player of the game. And let's take a look if you're just joining us. There's the beautiful bunt single. Here's a bullet double. Then with the Sox packed. In that 6-run third, he clears them. Off Mike Trombley, the solo shot. And our congratulations go out to Valentín. So right now, let's go down on the field to our compadre, Mitch Robinson.
Thanks a lot, Jose. They're all staying here cheering you on. The cycle today, you just felt it or what?
Well, it's one of those days that I'm really proud. You know, I was proud of myself after having a day like yesterday after 3 strikeouts. You know, I came in here today as a new guy. You know, it's a new day, it's just a new game. So I'm proud of myself. You know, having a game like that, and that's my first time that I hit for a cycle, and happy to do it with the White Sox.
The way you hustled around, it looks like there are no ill effects from the leg. How does it feel?
Well, the last few days have been really the way that I want. It's not 100% that ready, but it's a lot better. You know, I'm right now it's not pain on it. You know, but I just want to try to go too hard and just try to be, try to stay healthy so I can be in the lineup more often.
Every day you come out here and you say, man, they can't add more runs to the scoreboard. Another 13 today. You guys are averaging almost 8 runs a game. Have you seen a start like this in any of the games teams you've played with?
No, never in my life. You know, this is unbelievable. You know, this is a team that we've been doing everything the right way. You know, we're supposed to be. You know, we get the pitch when we hit. You know, we get aggressive, but at the same time, we're going to home play selected. You know, we just get the pitches when we need. We get the hits when we need, and everything so far has been doing good. So all we have to do is continue to play the game. the way we're playing right now, not be too fancy and not to be happy the way we've been playing right now, but just continue to play like that because it's it's only beginning year, it's a long year, and anything can happen. All we have to do is take one at a day and just keep playing the way we're playing.
Well, congratulations, and let's get the sweep in Detroit, okay?
That's fine. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Jose Valentín, guys, the cycle. What a game. Gail, Dave, take it away.